Parcells ever have drills for the defensive guys?
Yeah, they always had drills.
Like on how to carry the ball?
I don't know if they did.
We used to do that. Bill would show those plays and say, look, asshole. Like, you're not.
Look, asshole.
Look, we're not doing this.
We're not doing this. Yeah.
Hey, if you're going to do this, it better be the last play of the game. And we need, you know what I mean? It's just fucking funny.
Oh, my gosh. I would hate to be in the film room with Bill if I had done that lateral.
Oh, my God.
No, it was crazy, though. This game.
Crazy, man.
And this game was crazy, too.
Insane. That set up Keyshawn's other touchdown, the end around, as we mentioned earlier.
It F reverse? Or you F on that play?
It was bunch right, toss 38, Gator, Z reverse left.
The same fucking play?
Yeah.
That's incredible.
So we would change formationally depending on
They started
personnel.
getting into all that zip, zoom, snug bullshit later on. That shit, I had all that shit with Gruden punk ass.
Zip is just basically, Taylor Z got to come in to block.
Yeah, or come have zip down. Because we would do that too. We would go bunch right, zip, toss 38 Gator. So I would come and zip down and then come back around.
Yeah.
You know.
What's Gruden like as a coach?
Let's get through this.
Anyways, before the half, we get up 17-0 here. There's a little scuffle before the half. You like to see that in playoff football. Jumbo Elliott and old Kevin Hardy, they were getting into it.
Jumbo was big,
He
man.
was a beast,
I don't know what
bro.
type of offensive lineman you played with, but he might have been one of the big. He couldn't walk to the door, man. He was one of them type of dudes.
All-time name, too.
So big.
Yeah, we had a couple. I had one really big. Trent.
Yeah, Trent Brown.
Trent Brown was
massive.
a large human. I think he was like 6'9".
But Jumbo was a large human, but ripped up.
Yeah.
He had the little, you know how we used to, we had the V back in the day?
Yeah.
That's what he had as a lineman. He had the V. That's shit
like
was crazy.
That's insane.
We had,
All
a,
natural, too.
we had a Nate Solder.
Yeah, I know Nate.
Nate was really like he was 315 pounds with a six pack.
Yeah, this is how Jumbo was.
Yeah,
Jumbo
you know
was,
what I mean? So there's just like
Jumbo was cool too.
Big boned men.
Jumbo was cool. That was one of my coolest offensive line homies I had.
Heck yes.
He had to lay it off.
It's so funny, man. Before you mentioned the halftime, before the half, Jimmy Smith scored, I believe.
Yes, 52-yard bomb.
6 seconds
right
left.
as the half was almost
So
about.
I was supposed to go in the game
Oh.
Be the safety.
to be the safety.
Wow.
Parcells and Belichick got into it. And it was the craziest shit I ever seen on the sideline between two coaches ever. Because Belichick didn't want to put me in. Parcells wanted to put me in. Belichick said no. And they went right up the rail, bomb, touchdown. And them Parcells just lit his ass up.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh.
How was that relationship?
At that time, I thought it was fine.
Yeah.
And then it's great now. They like boys and shit. Now, but at that time, I thought it was fine. I don't know the difference, right? He came back the next year. But that thing, my eyeballs, I was like, because I was standing there ready to go in.
Yeah, you know the situation.
You know, and he's like, no. And Parcells told him, at this time, Parcells said something to the effect of, you think you know every fucking thing. You're fucking genius, huh? You think you know everything. That's why you fucking got fired from Cleveland.
Yeah, that'll get it. That'll get the fumes going. Shots fired.
I was like this. Oh, shit. So when the situation came up again, I went in and got the interception.
Yo.
That was the craziest
Genius.
thing. But I've seen Bill do that to the coaches before.
Parcells the type of coach that goes for neck. Always.
Oh my
He's
God.
going for throat.
Oh.
He's gonna go for kill shot.
Man.
Just to try to light that fire in your ass.
Kill
probably.
shot. I watched Bill get at Charlie Weiss one time, because you know how you do the cards?
Yeah.
The cards wasn't in sync. It was like all messed up. And at this time, Krispy Kreme donuts had just became a big thing, came to the East Coast of New York. So we used to make all the younger guys go pick them up.
Friday practice.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, pick them up, put them out. And Charlie would come to the players' lounge and get some.
We know Charlie likes some donuts.
And he had messed up the cards one time, and Bill said, I bet you if these fucking cards, Krispy Kreme donuts, you'd have got that right.
Jesus.
We was like, oh, shit.
What was the similarities and differences between him and Parcells and Pete Carroll? And was to you, and then you went to the Jets and you went to the Chiefs. How was his ship? How was that?
Man, I tell you what, coming in and
What
getting
made him different?
What made Parcells different is, He was well, I'm going to start with Parcells because that's who drafted me. So Parcells was the master manipulator when it comes to the mind, and he'll make you so pissed off psychologically you'll run through a wall. You want to prove to him that
Phil Simms used to tell me crazy stories about that.
He told me I was gonna be the first rounder in NFL history to get cut in training camp. That's the part. He was like, what the fuck is that like? You're gonna be the he called me to the side. He's like, listen, right now you're working on being the first rounder in the history of the NFL to get cut in the middle of training camp. I'm sitting there like, and my stupid ass, at the time, just being me from Mount Cook, I'm like, well, do what you got to do. Like, come on, I can whoop all that ass. Do what you got to do. Stupid, you know what I mean? But that's
what made you though.
That's just who I was, you know what I mean? And then eventually, he was like, man, he was the best, but he always rolled me. And it was one particular game where now I'd established myself as kind of a physical and aggressive, and he was like, you know what? You got everybody scared of you out there. All right. But this week, this guy's going to kick your ass. So he was talking about Michael Irvin. We was going down to play the Dallas Cowboys, and Michael Irvin, I think he had just hit, like I said, Aeneas Williams, one of the greatest, you know what I mean? Look up to Aeneas, trained with him, but he gave Aeneas the business, you know what I mean? It was like 9 catches or something, like 200-some yards and shit. I'm like, damn. So Parcells challenged me saying, if he do that to Aeneas Williams, because he said, you're damn sure know Aeneas Williams. That's what Parcells told me. He going to kick your ass. But guess what? I'm putting you on him. You think you good. So, man, went out there, ended up having 2 picks. I think got defensive player of the week, all that stuff. But I wasn't even thinking about playing, Michael and the challenge of him. I was sitting there thinking I got to prove Parcells wrong for fucking with me. I'm going to show you that I'm not the one. And I had to take it out on Michael at the time. You know what I mean? Yeah. But that's how my mentality was. But Belichick, that's how he got the best out of you. Belichick, he's going to sit you down because he was my DB coach, which I loved, by the way, because you had to do the least amount of studying when he's your coach because he done did it all. Everything that he says is going to happen is going to happen. It's going to be 1 or 2 things. And what I really fell in love with the way he coached, he was my DB coach. We were playing the Saints. He said, look, if they line up in this formation, tight end here, guy on the top of the numbers, if he's lined up on the top of the numbers, he's going to do a curl. And my thing was, I didn't want to be on the wrong end of highlights. What if he run a curl and go? He's not going to do it. If he run a curl and go, it's on me. So I said, shit, seen the formation is coming. Bam. Sure enough, he did exactly that. Came in, jumped in front of it, pick, and it was like, shit. So now when we're moving, Belichick had you in such a great position mentally that you went into the game so confident and saying that if anything happens, put it on him. But guarantee this is going to happen. And that's how he was as a coach. So when he left and came back, we thinking like, that's our boy. Man, me and Lawyer called him illegally, I might add, at the time, because we ain't supposed to, contact him and stuff like that. But that was our guy. That was our coach. So when he came back, man, we were so happy. And then when Bill walked in the building, we trying to go do like the group hug type of, he the head coach now. I'm like, oh, Bill done got a new check and got brand new and shit. But he done got brand new. It ain't the same. But now you had to realize, and it took us a minute, that he's not our coach anymore. He's our coach. And he has to sit there and, treat everything and conduct himself in a certain way. But what he does from a game plan perspective, I've never been with another coach or another organization that is that prepared at all times. And he made you feel comfortable. Even his adjustments, this is what we're going to do. Bam. You just got to be smart. In training camp, we will see shit that we ain't seen in 8 weeks. We going back to some training camp. You got to like, what? We ain't played that since training camp. But for this particular game, or we going at halftime, he comes back, this is what it is. So I think that separates Bill from everyone else, is his adjustments and how he looks at the game. You know what I mean? From offense, defensively. He used to have to leave to help Charlie Weiss. He would leave our defense to me. We've been there by our damn self. Ain't nobody getting coached. Because he up there telling the offense what the other defense is doing. He had to leave the meeting so many times just to go up there and help the offense by looking at the defense. He was that much of a genius when it comes to a football mind. Pete Carroll, I like Pete. Pete gave me the bag. He pushed for me to get the bag, but he was a DB guy. But I think his personality didn't mesh well with a lot of the other guys because we all interviewed. I interviewed because ain't nobody knows going to hire Belichick. I was like, man, I like Pete. So when they came down, Bobby Greer and all that GM, Scrab, I was like, man, we went to the playoffs. I felt somewhat responsible because I gave up the touchdown. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I did. I gave up a touchdown. I was sick to who I think is one of the best ever when it comes to me, matching up. That damn Jimmy Smith was an animal, bro. I just want to put that out there. So, but Pete Carroll, man, the happy-go-lucky guy that just didn't sit well with the rest of the guys because no matter what, come on, guys, don't you feel it? Don't you feel it?
That rah-rah.
Yeah, he was rah-rah like that. You know what I mean?
Coming from Parcells is telling you about to get cut in the first
Yeah.
fucking training
like night and
camp.
day.
Yeah, exactly.
This guy's smacking his gums saying it's going to be a great day.
Yeah, exactly. It was a totally different energy. You know what I mean?
And then you get back to Bill, who's in that
More similar to Parcells. And Bill, don't get me wrong, he wanted outside of business. Me and Bill ain't never had a problem outside of contract and business. You know what I mean? But you got to understand, we're all independent contractors. You know that. Yeah. At the end of the day, we're on the team. But when we're talking about this and we have discrepancies about this, he has to work for himself in the organization. You have to work for yourself as an individual, because, hey, it's short-lived. You know what I mean? But anytime about that, he's going to drink with you. He gonna have a beer with you. He going to laugh, have a good time, all that good stuff.
And that's, Bill's a computer where, like, if he's doing work, he's just thinking about work. And the one thing that I always liked with Bill, he was honest with you.
Right.
Which he would try to be a little overly honest just to prove his point on certain things. Look, I'm not going to pay you fucking $10 million. Edelman.
Yeah.
$12 million.
Yeah.
You're fucking 33.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to walk in 3 years.
Yeah. Oh, he will tell you that.
He would tell you that shit.
He'll tell you that. Yeah.
But what you said about him preparing a team and saying it's going to be on me if it doesn't go this way. Mm-hmm. There are countless times where, remember he'd have those team meetings because it was probably the same, and he'd give you the keys. Look, fellas, we just need to do this, this, and if we do that, this is going to happen.
Right.
We'd sit there and be listening to this shit, and then you'd watch on a Monday when you're watching film, everything that he said happened.
Right.
And it exactly to how he said.
Exactly. I'm saying he took that. He made it easier to do your job because he did all the hard work. A lot of guys don't want to study that film. So you basically got a coach as a walking cheat sheet. You know what I mean? You can go ask him anything out of the blue. He going to already know what it is. I'm sitting there like, it's at a point where like, how do you know all that? You watched us. You hear offensive guys asking him stuff. And I'm like, how do you got time to do all this shit and know all this?
He's a
savant.
100% a cheat sheet, but he's an asshole cheat sheet. But I loved him. Parcells, that was his thing. He could connect with the player.
Oh,
he knew how to get the best out of his player. Like he probably did that to Phil and treated Phil the way he treated him because that's what fires up Phil. Phil likes to be pissed off. He plays well pissed off.
I don't know about that.
You know what I mean? And that's what Parcells tried to do. I saw a lot of that stuff too, from Belichick with certain people. It's just they do whatever it takes to push the button to get the best out of you.
Pushing buttons. He was great.
Yeah. So you trade.
But Bill, here's what Parcells would do. I watched him during the week. He would walk around the locker room and get a guy and go, all right, now listen, here's what I need from you this week. Now you gotta come on in. And he would work the room like, he had a restaurant. He would hit everybody individually just for 30 seconds and maybe say something, now you got to play better. I don't want to take your ass out, but he was very, if you want honesty, he was honest.
Well, he's looking at every piece of the machine to make sure it's the big blue wrecking crew. Every piece has got to be.
But he worked everybody.
Yeah.
It was an unbelievable thing. It's the best skill I think a coach can have.
Absolutely.
Is to be able to do this to players, to be tough on them and still, what's the word? Not alienate them.
No.
And all that. They just knew this is what it is, and he's doing. You want honesty? All players. I just want you to be honest. Do you really? Do you really want them?
Yeah.
Well, Bill was honest. I saw him do this. I hate to tell these stories. We're in training camp, and we're doing an inside run thing, and we have a guard. I'm not going to say his game. He goes,
I'll call him Billy. Billy, I got the plane ticket in my drawer. Don't make me give it to you. Come on. I got to see it. Come on. I got the damn plane ticket in the drawer. And I just go, wow, that was really, that was rough.
Yeah.
And he would give the guy 2 or 3 days, and almost always one morning we show, where's so-and-so? Oh, they let him go. But he would warn them, if you don't pick it up. Oh, no, he never bluffed.
Wow.
But I heard him do that quite a few times.
Yeah.
But he was warning the guy, that if you don't practice better, then it's just not going to work here.
The plane ticket in the drawer.
Yeah, I can see it like a...
My ex-girlfriend did the same thing to me.
Did
Brutal.
she?
No. But,
Parcells comes in day one. Is it just completely different?
Oh my God, he fired the dude at the front gate that was a security guard named Harry. Harry had been like the security guard for like however many years, older guy. Bill got rid of him immediately. And so one of our linebackers named Bobby Houston was our starting linebacker. Started for the Jets, 4 or 5 years in a row. Solid linebacker, like really good. He told him if he wasn't at off-season conditioning, he was going to get rid of him. Dude didn't come to off-season conditioning. Never played again in the National Football League. Cut him. Never played again in the National Football League. So
That's mafia. Those coaches are mafias.
He started the OTAs. It used to be you had to get 40 days over like I want to say maybe a 2.5 month period of time. You had to get 40 days in. And it was like you go a week, maybe 2 weeks, you're off, then you come back a week, maybe off a week, that sort of deal. And so when he came, obviously, I was one of the targets, right?
Oh,
I was one of the targets. So he called my agent, we need him to do this, that. And so I'm like, paying no fucking with all that shit, man. And so now my agent go, well, he said if you don't come, da-da-da. I said, man, well, shit, man, I want to be at home with my family. I can do the same thing here. He goes, you tell him, this is how he talks. He goes, you tell him, if he's not here on this such and such date, it'd be the worst mistake he ever made. So I go, right? So now at this point, I'm probably a little overweight. I'm probably 225-ish, somewhere in there. He goes, I sit down in his room. I go in there. I'm in his room. He's got a dark room. He's got one little light on, like mafia, like you just said. He's sitting there and we're talking. He goes, how much did you weigh? I said, shit, I think I'm about 225-ish. He goes, what was that guy in the Rose Bowl? I said, I think I was probably 210 maybe. He goes, that's the guy I want. I said, okay, cool, no problem. So now I go home. I come back, go through the whole offseason conditioning. I'm 208, right? So I'm looking crazy to him. I'm fucking, So now all of a sudden, that's all I needed. I'm a made man now. For the rest of my life, he got me for the rest of my life because I did everything he asked me to do. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. He asked me to do something for him. I did it like that. And now you could say one bad word about me in front of him, you're gonna catch hell.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so that's how I changed like that. And like after my first year with him in 97, although I'm on a rookie contract, he tried to rip my contract up, but the management council with the NFL wouldn't allow it. We did the deal. He was getting ready to make me at that time in 97. I hadn't even done shit. I had fucking 65 catches. So he was going to make me one of the highest paid receivers in the NFL at the time. We did the deal and everything. They sent it to the management council. The management council didn't want to set a precedent, so they didn't approve it. That's how our trust and our loyalty became a bond like it is now.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you gained Parcells' trust through cutting your weight.
Yeah.
And then from that day on, because you did
even to this day, I just talked to him the other day. He goes, what's the number? I said, shit, man, I don't know. I'm probably 235 or something. I just slim it down a little bit. He goes, yeah, you look good, but I don't know if you're 235. You look like you got walnuts in your cheeks. I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm like, I'm good, coach. I ain't really, He said, well, you're doing good, son. You just keep doing what you're doing, man. I'm proud of you. Because that's my guy.
Yeah,
you know?
that's kind of, when I say it all the time, when you're around a guy for a long time that changes you, like I was around Belichick, it becomes like a fatherly figure
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
to you.
100%.